All right, Jacob. Whoa, and a big high dive out for Gillette. Sit back down, go to the front end, just like that. Nice recovery for Jacob Camber. We'll see what he adds to his 76. It'll be a 72-point ride here for Jacob, 72. 148. He's the guy to beat. Let's go to the University of Wyoming and Colt Ferguson. This guy won this rodeo 2 years ago. Part of the wild ride on Friday night. As a Forbes horse by the name of Dingo Springs. Colt Ferguson was 70 points on his first one. Weighing from the land down under. Colt. Well, we see some yellow down on the ground. Mark out rule is in effect. Rules of those mark out has to be that heels of those boots in contact to the front of the horse's shoulder the first jump out. Colt Ferguson, they get him at the gate on the far side. So a no score on Dingo Springs. Boy, here in the Central Rocky Mountain region, for about the last decade and a half, we've had the name of Elshear in the bronc ride, and now we go to Trey Elshear. Hillbilly Beer is the bucking horse from the Forbes Rodeo Company. Trey Elshear was 59 points to survive that first round. Here's Trey. Gillette College. Rain gets a little long. Heads up in front. Hillbilly Beer, the Forbes brings down Elshear. Looks like we're going to Gillette College. Shoot 6. You know, there are matchups when you see the draw that just catch your eye. And this is one of them. Carter Elshear getting ready to ride inside chute number 6 as a national finals bucking horse by the name of Bigwig. This horse has won the Mountain State Circuit Saddle Bronc Horse of the Year a couple of times. Is a son of the great Lunatic Fringe. And when he bucks, he likes to have a lot of rein and keep his head low to the ground, but he has timing in doing so. Elshear, no stranger to riding ranked bucking horses. He's only 30 points out of being in the top 3, and you want to get into the top 3? Let's match yourself up against a national finals bucking horse and make a statement. Last year at the College National Finals, Elshear finished 3rd in the nation. Let's punch his ticket back. Paint Bucking Horse has carried riders to a lot of big scores. Can Elshear be next? He is tapped off. See the amount of rain that Bucking Horse likes? Nicely done, Carter Elshear. Nicely done. We will say 81 points on the ride for Elshear. We are used to hearing this in the Central Rocky Mountain region, but an Elshear is sitting number one in the bronc riding with 153 on a pair of rides. Cody Kendrick from Lamar. Looks like we're heading right back down to chute number 5. Bay horse will go by the name of Bullfrog. Was a snappy bay. Had some big scores on this bucking horse at pro rodeos like in Elizabeth and Crawford, Nebraska. Lamar bronc rider is going to have his hands full, but he is capable of the task. Yep. Right back in motion. Yeah. Nice bronc ride for Lamar Community College. Boy, that was pretty. So he had 56 on his first one. He'll improve here in the championship round. And 66 points here on the ride. So 122 on a pair of rides, and he is now third in the average. Nicely done for Cody Kendrick. Dylan Schofield will be next to ride. Once again, thank you to our buckle sponsor, Chancey Williams and the Younger Brothers Band. Centennial is the name of the bucking horse for Dylan. Speaking a little Chancey Williams in the background. Earlier this year, they were 85.5 points at Rapid City, South Dakota on this Bay Bucking Horse Centennial. Dylan Schofield with 69 points to advance into this championship round. Chute 3s where the action will heat up. Dylan. Now let's go to work. Horse kind of shaking his head around. That can distract you, but Dylan Schofield does his job and gets it rode. So he will be the fourth guy to get a pair of rides under his hat. $68 points on the ride here on Championship Sunday for Dylan. 68, 137. That'll put him third in the average. A couple of nice rides by Dylan Schofield this weekend. Jake Foster, Gillette College. Do you know Gillette sends half of the bronc riding field into our championship round? 5 of the 10 wear the Gillette colors. Bobcat Logic. Well, this horse had a ranked trip at Gooding, Idaho last summer. Foster was 69 points on his first one. He's already been a winner this weekend. He won the Wild Ride. We brought the Wild Ride back on Friday night. And he made an appearance as the Easter Bunny. He made a great ride. We just worry about the hop he did afterwards. Jake Foster. All right. Now we're back. Oop. Everybody is all right. That was quite a ride. Nothing you can do about that. As soon as they horse stalled to go to shut the gate, now heads up in front. So we're assuming we'll see Jake Foster again. He'll have a good horse in that reroute. I believe he'll be getting on Big Hole. If it works out right, we'll have to check to make sure he didn't have that horse before. Otero Junior College and the Rattlers looking to strike here with this very talented saddle bronc rider. This is Tyler Beebe. Little over 100 points out of the top three in the race to the College National Finals. This guy won the Colorado Pro Rodeo Association Finals last October. Won the first two go-rounds. Held on to the win for the average. He's a welder. Minuteman will be his dancing partner. Mountain State Circuit Finals selected bucking horse. Tyler Beebe was 57 points. So Tyler Beebe. Go way up there to shoot number one for this matchup with Minuteman. I've seen him make rides in the mid-80s at pro rodeos like Laramie, Wyoming. This horse had an outstanding trip at Salmon, Idaho last summer. Tyler Beebe, let's make it work just for you. Yep. Nice. Boy, he is full of talent riding bucking horses. Full of talent welding, too. The veteran horse knows exactly when the 8-second whistle's over. So with that ride here, we're going to put him second in the round at 74 points for Tyler. 74. 131. And that is currently fourth in the average. So nicely done for Tyler Beebe. So if you're a T-Bird fan, you want to watch this ride. So right now, when we take a look at the average race, 153 on a pair is from the number 4 ranked guy in the region, Carter Elshier. 148 on 2 is sitting second. That's Jacob Kammerer, who is second. But the number 1 bronc rider in the region is getting ready to ride, and he rides for the color of the T-Birds, Lane Schulke. Looking to make it back to the College National Finals Rodeo, and he has an award-winning bucking horse by the name of Sacagawea. This year, Lane Schulke has won 4 rodeos. If he wins today, that's half of the rodeos that take place in the Central Rocky Mountain region. He won Sheridan, won Riverton, won Cheyenne, won Torrington. Wyoming has been good to this South Dakota bronc rider. Sacagawea is a horse we've seen at the Mountain State Circuit Finals. A few years ago, awarded the top horse in Colorado. And Lane Schulke ready for a little T-Bird pride, riding in the number 1 spot. Nicely done for the T-Birds, and you know what? He's part of the points team for the T-Birds as well. So he had 75 on his first ride. And right here, he's going to move to second in the round at 79 points for Lane Schulke. 79. Now, do you want the really good news? By 1 point, he has moved into the lead of the average on 2. $154 on a pair of rides for Schulke. Chalk up some more points for the T-Birds. Jonas Bichon from Otero Junior College will be next to ride. Big John. It's the name of the bucking horse inside chute number 3. So Jonas Bichon, once again, thanks to Chancey Williams and the Younger Brothers Band. Watch Big John. Whoa. So Big John has a ranked trip. Boy, that horse had a ranked trip at the Denver National Western Stock Show earlier this year as well. Getting some attention, Big John. So 1 ride left to go. Jake Foster. A couple of moments ago, had a horse kind of flip over on him. Now he's back over here on this side, inside chute number 4. Foster's right in the thick of things. He was 69 points on his first ride. The scheduled lead ride was a big hole, but that may change. Carter Elshear's in the lead of the round with 81. Lane Schulke's in second, 74. Or 79, excuse me. That's 74. Tyler Beebe is third. $154 the lead of the average, $153 second. Of course, those are all unofficial until our regional secretary, Tammy Vold Larson, has time to check over the math. So just a little time to get Jake Foster's saddle on this bucking horse, and we'll roll him up. He'll be ready to ride. Once again, thanks for being part of the 64th edition of the Roping and Rigging Days. I actually got started on Thursday with a great little team roping, jackpot team roping. Thanks for everybody that came down to the Yellowstone Garage last night for a great Calcutta. If you were not with us, you missed a great time. Thanks to Yellowstone Garage for hosting us. The way we auctioned off their contestants, we sold about 82 contestants, and when you combine the short round and that average per contestant, a little under $150 a piece. Great fundraiser for T-Birds Rodeo. So thank you for your patience. I know it takes a little time to get a saddle on a re-ride horse, but we're just trying to help out our secretary and Tammy Vold Larson to finish up the paperwork for an event before we move on to the next one. So Jake Foster. So to recap, he was 69 points on his first horse, 154 in the lead. Points available in the go round and the average. All right, Jake, let's make a ride on the Palomino. A little 203. Yep. Hey. That was well worth the wait for Jake Foster. So we set him down to the ground. What are we going to add to his 69 points from his first horse? And it'll be 75 points for Jake Foster here, 75. That will put him third in the round. That will give him fourth in the average at 144. So as we close it out, once again unofficially, but it looks like Lane Schulke Casper College is going to be the saddle bronc riding champion. 1 point over Carter Elshier at 154. Let's say thanks to Chancey Williams and the Younger Brothers Band, and a congratulations to the saddle bronc riders. So the T-Birds maintain getting points. Now let's go to the breakaway rope. And Moss, Saddles, Boots, and Tack sponsors the breakaway event. Less or just over a second separate the top 10, 2-4 to a 3-5. We're going to see 3 Casper T-Birds here in this breakaway rope and short round. The race for that all-around title is also on the line for these Cowgirls. Speaking of Cowgirls, let's start it with the University of Wyoming and Justine Hersig. She's a college national finalist in the team roping a year ago. 3.5 on her first calf here in the breakaway roping. Boy, she is handy with a rope. And a great part of that University of Wyoming rodeo team. Once again, they'll be hosting our final rodeo of the region next weekend in Laramie. Well worth the drive. Justine Hersing, first to go, first to catch. Solid run here. 2.8 seconds for the University of Wyoming breakaway roper, 2.8. That is a 6.3 on 2. Boy, that is going to be tough to beat. Nicely done for Justine Hersing. Here is Taylor Duncan from the Northeastern Junior College working with a 3.3. Oh. Calf just zags to the left. Right out of the reach of Taylor Duncan, so no time here. All right, T-Bird fans, here's one of 3 chances to cheer here in the breakaway rope. And Natalie Lee Singer, the freshman animal science major, is working with a 3.1 second run. And we saw Natalie in the goat tying. She's a strong contender for that all-around. She's looks like one spot out of the round in that short round and the average for points, but still a great chance to get that all-around buckle. First things first, worry about the breakaway. Oh, thought it was going to come right around. Thought she was going to get it there. No time for Natalie Lee Singer, the T-Birds. Let's go to the number 1 ranked breakaway roper, Tisha Cofield. She has a big lead in the regional standings. Reigning all-around champ in Colorado Rodeo. Now riding in the colors of the University of Wyoming. She's a college national finalist. Works with a 2.9. Nicely done. Looks like she was clean at the line as well. 2.6 seconds for Tisha Cofield. 2 and 6. Showing us why she is the #1 ranked breakaway roper in the region. 5.5 on 2 runs. Wow. Well, we want some more of it. We're going to call on Afton Peterson. Casper College and the sophomore ag communications major. Works 3 events for Casper College: breakaway, barrels, and team roping. 2.8 is what she's working with. Three swings, making it work. But some bad news is a broken barrier. 3 seconds flat plus the 10, 13 seconds flat, 13-0. So that's 15-8 on 2, and that is third in the average. Here's Michaela Wilson. She goes to work for the University of Wyoming. All right, Michaela Wilson. She was also 2-8. We had 3 contestants come into our short round at a 3 and 8. Well, and that happens to everybody. Go to feed that loop and just slick hands. No time for Michaela. So with 4 to go, 5-5 is in the lead of that average. Here is J.C. Thompson. It's a big run for her. She's third in the region here in the breakaway roping. Here in a few runs, we're going to see the #4 ranked Cowgirl and the #6 ranked Cowgirl. So J.C. Thompson feels like she's got a target on her back. This is a college national finalist in the goat time. Eastern Wyoming College, as she goes to work with a 2.8. She's an all-around contender. Watched her earlier in the goat time. That all-around race will come right down to what happens a little later on in the barrels. She'll reset, make sure things are just right. There's a lot on the line here in this run. And the couple of runs next week in Laramie. Yes. Looks over the shoulder, clean at the line. 2.4 seconds. 2.4. What a great way to make a statement. 5.2 on 2. She is now the leader. Trying to keep her spot in the top 3 to head to the college finals. So we go to Casper College once again here in the breakaway roping. Bailey Miller held on to the lead for a majority of the weekend with that 2.7. Elementary education major from Encampment. Perfect. Boy, nailed the start, too. 2.7 to equal her run in that first round. 2.7. She is in at 5.4 and is sitting number 2 in that average. Nicely done for the T-Birds and Bailey Miller. So remember back when I told you J.C. Thompson, who's third and is currently number 1 in the average, kind of felt like she had a target on her back. Well, here's Hannah Hosteller, who's number 4, trying to chase her down. Hannah was 2.5 on her first one for Chadron State. Well, that calf kind of hopped up as soon as he came out of that chute. I think that calf did the same thing last time. Well, unfortunately, it's a no time. She knew she had to be fast. And here's another cowgirl that is trying to track down J.C. Thompson. This is Peyton Donnelly. Won the round with a 2.4 second run. Five 2 is in the lead. So Peyton Donnelly working with a 2.4. Oh, a little false start, it looks like. We'll see what the official ruling is. Be a no time on the run, no time for Peyton Donnelly. So that means the Moss Saddles Boots and Tack breakaway rope and the championship, it's going to go to J.C. Thompson, 5.2 for Eastern Wyoming College. Good news for the T-Birds. Bailey Miller is going to finish as the reserve champ at 5-4. Let's pay off the breakaway ropers here at the Roping and Rigging Days. Shifting gears to the tie-down roping. Driven Driven Motorsports will sponsor our Maynard buckle to our champion. It's been a great tie-down roping, 10-2 to a 12-9 for our top 10. Ty Everson, University of Wyoming, will be our first tie-down roper to go. Now, Ty Everson qualifies 10th here into the short round in the tie-down, but he happens to be the number one man in the steer wrestling. Well, that was coming into today. Let's see what he can add to his 12-9. Nice run to get us started here. Pending the tie inspection will be a 13-4, 13-4. Total on two of 26-3 for Ty Everson. So we go to Bernard Gerard, LCCC. He happens to be the reigning tie-down roping champion of this rodeo. He wants another buckle that says champion of the roping and rigging days. 12-5 is what advanced him here to this championship round. Was the reserve champ 2 weeks ago at the rodeo hosted by Colorado State University. Long reach out for Bernard Gerard, trying to win this rodeo once again. String tie out of there. And now the important 6-second tie inspection. We just witnessed the fastest run of the entire week so far. 10.1 for Bernard Gerard, 10-1. 22-6 on a pair, 22-6. Colton Reed, Eastern Wyoming College, who will work with a 12.4. Driven Motorsports sponsors our champions buckle. Of course, we say thanks to Maynard Buckles, the official buckle maker of College Rodeo and one of our national sponsors. They have made some beautiful buckles for roping and rigging days as well. Long reach Doesn't work out for Colton. That'll bring us to Caden Lapp, LCCC tie-down roper, who will work with a 12-2. Don't forget, for those of you that have participated in our Calcutta, they're paying that out down in our rodeo office on the opposite side of our secretary, Tammy. Go see Jenny down there to get your payoff for the Calcutta. Stringing and tying with Caden Lapp. So as he climbs back aboard, slacking the rope. 11-9 here on the run. 11-9. 2 solid runs for him this weekend. 24-1 on 2. So he is currently second in that average. We're going to stay with LCCC. They send 4 of the 10 tie-down ropers here to our short round. This is Chase Miller, who had an 11-9 in the opening round. Well, works out, but not the way he wanted it. So he's going to call for the ground crew. Knew that he could be nowhere near 10 seconds with the amount of work that he needed to do. So he'll turn the calf loose, taking no time. John Peterson from Gillette will go to work next with an 11-7. Quick down the line. Then a little struggle to get the calf flanked. He'll make it up right here with a quick set of hands. Calf will test the tie and kick free, so no time for John Peterson. With 4 to go here in the tie-down rope, and the round is led by 10-1. Average is led by 22-6. But here comes the T-Birds, and Wyatt Tarver comes into this weekend in the top 6 in the region. Sophomore ag business major from Gillette, ready to go to work. First part done. There's the second. Here quickly comes the third. Yes. So does a great job of getting it done. 13.1 here in the championship round, 13-1. 24-6 on 2, and now he is third in that average. So nice job of roping for Wyatt Tarver. Here's Seth Peterson, the guy that leads the all-around in the region. He's 35 points out here in the tie-down roping from making an individual qualification to the college national finals. Already part of the University of Wyoming team that is more than likely punched their ticket to a team regional title win. Peterson works with 11 seconds flat. Solid run here in the championship round. As we await the tie inspection. That will be a 10-4 for Seth Peterson, 10-4. (21-4) on a pair of runs, and now he has moved into the lead of the average. 21-4 with 2 guys left to go. So Seth Peterson has just wrapped up winning the all-around of this rodeo. Congratulations, Seth. There's a fancy Maynard buckle awaits you. Brandon Butterfield, Eastern Wyoming College, tied his first calf in 10-8. Stand the calf up. Now we'll complete the tie. Pending this tie inspection, 13-4. That'll give him a 24-2, and that is currently third in the average. With 1 left to go, the average looks like this: 21-4 for Brandon Butterfield, 22-6 for Bernard Gerard. Then we go to that 24-1 for Caden Lamp. That one guy left, 10.2 for Houston Brown. He's number 8 in the region. This LCCC rides in the box. Houston Brown will rode on our Wild Ride Friday night. So no time for Houston Brown as a high call back will leave us. So that closes out the tie-down rope. And congratulations on the round win to last year's champ, Bernard Gerard, 10-1. And in the average, our champion is going to be Seth Peterson, 21-4 on 2 runs. So he will pick up 2 buckles this weekend, the tie-down roping and the all-around. Nice weekend, Seth Peterson. So we bring out the Ram barrels. Once again, thanks to Ram Rodeo for driving rodeo for 3.5 decades as the official automotive sponsor of the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association. You know, from the junior ranks to high school to college to pros, Ram drives rodeo. So when you take a look at your day sheet in our barrel racing brought to us by Cox Trucking, you can see that we run in random draw order for our barrel racing. Just so happens that the fastest time of the weekend is on the bottom of the ground here in the championship round. So we mix them all up. It's going to be a great barrel race. We have the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6th ranked barrel racers in the region, all within striking distance of the top 3. So the race to the College National Finals in the barrel racing, it starts right now and continues on to Laramie and the University of Wyoming next week. Barrels are set, and we are ready for our reigning regional champion barrel racer. She's number 4 right now, just 20 points out of the top 3, Lake Mahalik. She's ran at some of the biggest rodeos in the world, including AT&T Stadium and the American. She's going to reset. Horse kind of stumbled coming through. Now Lake Mahalik, Colorado State University, a WPRA Junior World Champion barrel racer. Originally from Arizona. Come on, Lake, let's do it. $14.92. Wants to get back to the college finals. Nicely done, Lake, nicely done. All right, former T-Bird member Casey Monins next to ride. Come on, Case. 15:32 advanced. Nice. Folks, she's a former T-Bird sporting the red and white today. $15.27. She improves here in this championship round. $15.27. So the lead in the average is a 30-13 right now for Lake Mahalik as we go to Taylor Latham, who is a strong contender for the all-around in the women's. She had a great goat tying run earlier. Just to update you, Casey's run on 2 will be 30-59. Taylor has a 15-25 to work with. Solid run here. $15.23 on the clock here, $15.23. So she improves by 2/100ths of a second, 30-48. She's second in the average. Brooke Howell, who is another contender for the all-around at this rodeo, works with a 15.27. Looks like a fast track today. Gillette College. They send us 4 barrel racers into the top 10 here today. Pushing that horse to the 3rd. 15.18. That is second in the round. That'll give her 30-45. She is second in the average as well. All right, here's Carson Bradley, who has moved up into the 2nd spot in the region, just 10 points behind our next barrel racer. Carson Bradley. She's on the Bay Horse Champ. She won the rodeo at Torrington on Champ. She ran in 15-17 to advance. Smoke and run today. 15-13 on the run. 15-13. And that is a total of 30.3. She is now second in that average. So that was the number 2 ranked barrel racer in the region. We're getting ready to watch the number 1 ranked barrel racer as they are in a tough battle for that regional championship. So to recap, Lake Mahalik in the lead of the round and of the average. Her average time was a 30.13. As we smooth the ground at the halfway mark. So Rachel Calvo is that #1 barrel racer in the region, has a 10-point lead over Carson Bradley, who we just watched. University of Wyoming barrel racer. She works with a 15:08, which was second in the round. Nice job at the first. Look at the speed coming into the second. Wyoming, here we go. $14.95 on the run here, $14.95. That is second in the round. However, that is #1 in the average, 30.03. Holding on to that #1 spot. Here's Sydney Meyer from Gillette, works with a 15:28. Boy, what a tough barrel racing here in the Central Rocky Mountain region. Oh, and we get one down. So unfortunately, a penalty here on this run of 5 seconds. 15:22 goes to 20 and 22 with a penalty 20 and 22. Here's where things are going to heat up in that race to the College National Finals. Riley Addington is 6th in the region, 75 points out of the #3 spot. #3 goes next. We've seen #4 sit second in the average, so Riley needs these points. She has been to the College National Finals the last 2 years, and she works with a 15:21. Well, I like this gray horse. One to go. All right, Riley, turn him loose. 15:48. Kind of a little balk at that first barrel. Will cost her 15:48. Let's go to the #3 ranked barrel racer in the region. She has to feel like she has a target on her back as the rest of the field tries to track her down. Michaela Seeley of Casper College is the #3 ranked barrel racer in the region. She needs a little T-Bird pride to help her on this run. She's a 15:19 in the opening round. So freshman pre-occupational therapy major. Came to Casper from Riverton. It's done good for the T-Birds here in the barrels. All right, T-Birds, are you ready? Look at that. This is Michaela Seeley. The red and white looks good, going fast around the barrels. You bet. Folks, on the bottom of the ground, how about a 14.80? She is #1. She's #1 in the average as well at 29.99. Under the 30 mark with 1 to go, and it happens to be the reigning champion of this rodeo, Kelsey Linsgrave. The University of Wyoming sends us a College National finalist. She had the fastest run at 15:03. How are we going to stack her up on 10th on the ground? Solid. Little long today, 15:42. So T-Bird fans, let's hear ya. Michaela Seeley, 14.80, wins the go-round and wins the buckle thanks to Cox Trucking, 29.99 on 2. Wow, what a barrel race. She'll hold on to the top 3 spot and a chance to go to the College National Finals. So our Bulls won the battle here this weekend. We have 3 bull riders that have made the qualified rides. We have 2, actually I'm going to say 1.5 bullfighters to introduce you to. The first guy, he's right out there in the middle. Say hello to Matthew Nichols, would you? The half of the bull rider we were talking about, he's going to hop into action in the bunny suit. That is Zach Duvall. Oh, not the ears. I could almost make a joke if Matthew was dressed up like Hugh Hefner. All right, time to get serious in the bull riding. Paint Rock Adventures. Caleb Fritz is going to be our first bull rider to go. Chadron State College. King Solomon is the name of the bucking bull. Summit Pro Rodeo brings us the bull power. It's a lot on the line here in the bull riding. The number 2 and number 7 ranked guy in the region have made it into the championship round. All right, Caleb. Yeah, so all the guys that are watching the live stream, that is active all in the bunny suit. He's going to regret this. All right, Caleb Fritz. He was offered a reride opportunity in the first round. He wisely declined that to be one of 3 advance into this championship round. Let's see. Caleb. Come on, Caleb. Oh, no. No score for Caleb Fritz. So Dylan Grant, he was offered a second chance in the first round as well. He wisely declined that 55-point reride option. Stuck with the points. This is a big ride for Dylan. He's 70 points out of the top 3 in a berth to the College National Finals Rodeo. This ride and a couple of rides next week, he can easily make up that deficit. Kingsman, it's the bull. Shoot 3. Once again, thank you to Paint Rock Adventures for sponsoring our bull riding buckle. Dylan Grant rides. He's going to force Nate Huey to ride to win the buckle. Let's have a little ride off, guys. Kingsman's the bull you can ride. Almost have to think of this shootout or this short round as a shootout. Get one road, force the next guy to ride. Here we go with Dylan. Whoa, man, big, powerful bull there. So a no score. So many of you think that Nate Huey's automatically won the rodeo. He has, because he had the highest marked ride in the long round. Here's what's at stake, however, points in the championship round. Nate Huey is number 2 in the region. He's 200 points back of the leader. But when you start talking about guys that are the only one to ride 2, those points accumulate in a hurry. It's a College National finalist from a year ago for Lamar Community College. And it was 2 years ago that he won this rodeo, and he won the championship buckle. He's going to win his second Roping and Rigging Days buckle here today. But let's put a little exclamation point on top of it. He was 78 on his first one. Let's get a qualified ride and big points in this championship round for Lamar. So Nate Huey. Ready to grab this buckle once again and ready to grab some points in this championship round. Trying to get the bull to stand up squarely inside that front buck and chute. So he's going to have to re-pull. So Paint Rock Adventure sponsors our bull riding buckle. Congratulations to all of our winners so far today. Bull's standing, Nate's ready to ride. Oh, Nate, nice effort. Nice effort, tough bull to get rode. So no qualified rides. Whoever bought the bulls in the Calcutta last night, it's a profitable day. So Nate Huey will be our champion bull rider. He will earn the buckle from Paint Rock Adventures. Folks, do me a favor. Let's pay off our stock contractors, Summit Pro Rodeo and Forbes Rodeo Company. Job well done. Nice job to all of the T-Birds. And, of course, thank you to our bullfighters, Matthew Nichols and the guy in the onesie, Zach Duvall. Folks, on behalf of the T-Bird Rodeo team, my name is Bob Edmonds. Hoping you enjoyed this morning's championship round. Thanks for being part of it. Have a joyous Easter. Please drive careful. We'll see you next year.